Want to know more about the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge but don't know where to get started and all the reading looks a bit scary? Look no further, this guide is what you need. Hi, I'm Ouiza and welcome to OuiSims, an online community where I help you explore the Sims series and other simulation games in a fun and interactive way. If you're new here, consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. This is part 1 of a 5-part guide to the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge, as prescribed by the creator Pinstar. Over the course of the next few days, you're going to be seeing, this video, which is the overview, and a little bit of history on the challenge. 2 is how you can get started and the different ways that you can start the challenge, depending on which expansion packs you have. 3, what are succession laws and what are the different kinds that you can get. 4, what are the gameplay rules and which apply to you depending on the packs you have. And finally, number 5, which is going to be the scoring video, and there you can see how do you actually calculate your scores and what actually earns you points. It's important for me to mention that this information is all from the official Legacy Challenge website. I'm just putting it in a video format because it can be overwhelming, especially if it's the first time you're hearing about the challenge and you want to get involved but you don't quite know where to start. So this video series is just really putting that written content into a video. So that's my hope with this guide. It's to be a nice little way for you to hop around to the things that you need and to refer back to each of the parts that you want to refresh when you are going through the challenge. The other reason for this video now in 2019 is that there have been a number of new rules and updates added since the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge was launched a few years ago. And although there are videos on the rules and the laws and the different ways you can play the game, they are a little bit outdated now, and especially given the different ways you can start the game now, given the packs that we have access to now, I thought that this series would be beneficial as an overview of what is the challenge looking like today if you wanted to start it. The end of this video will have some resources that I highly recommend, either because they're highly recommended by the actual creator or they've proven to be really helpful or can add to your experience of the Legacy Challenge instead of making it more complex. So just a bit of a history lesson on the Legacy Challenge. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I enjoy giving some background of The Sims just because I've been around for a while with it and just for your own general knowledge on The Sims. So the Legacy Challenge was originally designed by Pinstar, who is a veteran in the Sims community. He's been around for forever basically, and launched the Legacy Challenge in the mid-2000s with The Sims 2. So the Sims 2 Legacy Challenge was the first of its kind. He also makes many of the other popular challenges that people still play today, like the Apocalypse Challenge and the Sim of the Month Challenge. His wife, Imagining Mystic, cute story about how they met. It's on the website. I highly recommend you read it. But his wife, Imagining Mystic, has also founded the Moving On Up City Living Sims 4 Challenge, if you want to check that out as well. So as a reference point, when talking about the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge, I'm talking about the official Legacy Challenge. And when I say official, I don't mean that it was released by EA. I don't mean it was released by Maxis or it's like officially endorsed or anything. It just refers to the original challenge that Pinstar created and the rules and requirements and scoring systems that he very specifically set out on what qualifies as a Legacy Challenge. Some people do adapt parts of the Legacy Challenge to suit their own gameplay style. Some variations include the Rags to Riches Challenge, others include the Super Sim Challenge. It's up to you about which you decide to personally play with, but this video is focusing on the original official Legacy Challenge by Pinstar. So what is the Sims Legacy Challenge? Well, it's basically a set of laws and rules that you abide to yourself. No one's watching you or tracking your camera to make sure you follow the rules. The Legacy Challenge itself is focused on a single founder and moving them to a huge lot, the largest you can find in some of the variations of the different starts, and then clearing out most of their simoleons so they are as poor as possible depending on the different start that you choose. Along with that is the overarching goal that your founder needs to achieve, and that is to build their home, to build their wealth, and to build up their family to 10 generations in particular. And then within this large goal, there are mini goals that you can try and achieve throughout the course of these 10 generations. And those goals that you meet end up being the points that you accrue throughout the 10 generation process. I will be launching a Sims 4 Legacy Challenge series of my own fairly soon. I'm excited to try it out because the farthest I think I ever got in The Sims 2 was, I think, Generation 6. and I really want to see if I can finally finish this off. Some helpful resources for you throughout this time. Pinstar has an official trait generator on his website, or tray generator, as you do need to do at different points of the challenge, and it is quite easy to use. But if you would prefer for me to do a tutorial on this, then let me know and I will add it to my list of videos to make, because it is a really helpful tool to be able to use, and a necessity, to be honest. There are also lots of ways to track your score, because there are between 100 and 107 points that you can score in this challenge, depending on the packs that you have, and it can get really confusing trying to keep track of them all. I remember it was terrible trying to remember everything and trying to write it down across a million pieces of paper. But we do not have this problem in 2019. There are some amazing resources, but my favorite one that I've come across, and the one I'm starting to use for my own legacy challenge, is Hilly's legacy spreadsheet. And the reason why I like it so much is it's very clean. Like, you can look at it and it makes sense, and it's very self-explanatory with appropriate help boxes as you go along. And it's also up to date. It was recently updated at the start of July, which is something that you want, especially because The Sims 4 is still coming out with a lot of content and will still probably be altering gameplay for a little time to come. If you would prefer a printable rule book and a printable score sheet, Nerdy Bunny Designs has made an adorable coloring in book basically for your legacy challenge, and personally I'm very tempted to use it like on my iPad and to color in as I go along with it. But a new version of it was released 3 months ago on her blog, and I'm leaving a link to that in the description. Unfortunately, the first version was lost in a blue screen of death crash, and I'm really sorry to hear that, Nerdy Bunny. I hope things are better now. But she has been so gracious as to remake it and to update it for the Legacy Challenge and where it is right now. She also does it for a number of other challenges, like the Not So Berry challenge, if I remember. So definitely check out her Tumblr if you are interested in printout and more colorful ways to track your progress through the challenges. And that all rounds off today's overview of the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge. I am really curious to hear from you guys. What are some challenges that you guys enjoy watching or even playing yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next part, where we are going to be discussing how do you start the Legacy Challenge and what are the different ways that you can start the Legacy Challenge. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a video. I'd like to thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. So soon.